He talked about like creating more of catcher cores, and groups of catchers now and having more. Well, like the reality is that there's a lot of wear and tear on these girls' bodies by the time they get to college. They've already caught too much. Most of the time, we see the girls that catch at younger ages, they are the better players because it's obviously something that you have to have some ability and a little bit of fearlessness to be back there. So they usually end up being better hitters. So then when you get into college and you have these girls that are hitting 3, 4, and 5 in their lineup and they're catching for you, well, they probably shouldn't be catching every day because then when you get into the playoffs and into going to the World Series, they're tired, they're worn down. Let's take it back to the one knee. Now, okay, a little less wear and tear on the body, probably a little more beneficial to start using one knee. We've seen that with a lot of professional, catching coordinators I've talked to have said, our guys feel better at the end of the year now. They don't feel as beat up. It's easier. We do blocking drills in here. I'll make them do ready stance, in their secondary stance block, and they're like, can I grab some water? Like, yeah, go ahead, grab some water. If we go right knee down, left knee blocking, they're not even tired. They don't need to stop. They don't, take a break. They don't say we need some water. It's easier on their body. And I think that's another piece of it where when you talk about having more depth at catcher is like, let your best hitter that plays catcher, let her DH, and hit a couple games on the 4-game series on the weekend, and have some depth for somebody else to be able to step in there and catch.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Last year, I'll even say it. Like, Emma Kalf is one of the better catchers in softball. Like, it's been a known fact. It was nice having two catchers behind her that can catch a midweek game. Give her a freaking break because now you got an ACC competition. You're going to go play Duke. You're going to go play Clemson, but you're playing somebody during the week where it's just like, dude, give Emma a freaking break because now we're gonna. I hate the word grind. Like tomorrow, I'm going to Atlanta. They play 6 games in 3 days. Do I expect Emma to catch every single one? I don't know. I'm hoping not, but again, I'm not the coach. I'm just the third party that, works with the catchers and stuff. But we also feel confident that if we need to throw somebody else back there to give her a break so we can have her bat in the lineup because she was first or second in doubles last year, first team all ACC, all region caliber catcher that can go play outfield or go DH or do this. Like, it's only serving your team better. We talk about catchers being servant leaders. Well, shit, if you need me to go catch in another position, go play another position, I'm still serving the team. I'm serving you with my bat this time. Let somebody else take the reps off of me. Because again, you're seeing it, especially, when you're getting into super regionals. You're seeing the sloppiness with the glove. You're seeing more pass balls. You're seeing the lack of offensive because they're fucking gassed. Like, I see shit on Twitter, coaches were like, I'll never forget, what was it, 21, where they did the 4-game series in the ACC, because I'm friends with now the hitting coach at South Carolina. He was at Duke last year, and we were talking about it, and I said, hey, how was the 4-game ACC bubble? And he's like, it was fucking brutal on the kids. And then you got these travel ball coaches. My kid catches 9 games in a weekend. She got no problem. Motherfucker, have you ever caught in college? The pregame prep, all the logistics, the media, this, that, and the other. I'm sorry, travel ball does not even come close to what a college athlete has to prepare for a game. And they did 4 games in 3 days. But yet you're comparing apples to oranges with a kid that caught 9 games, probably chugged a Mountain Dew in between games, grabbed a hot dog, you probably threw in a bathtub at the hotel with ice, and said, suck it up, buttercup, because there's 10 colleges watching you play. You can't compare that shit. So, like, when I see that stuff, I hate social media sometimes. But,
I just feel like it's one of those things where it's like it's a knock on, like it's like we're saying you're not tough because you can't, because we're telling you not to catch 9 games. No, like again, I love that girls want to catch 9 games. I was the same way as a player. I never wanted to sit out, but my coaches had to do what was best for me and say, dude, relax. It's a double header. Take a breather. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing. We as coaches and parents, like just because we want them to be tough or whatever doesn't mean that they have to catch every single game. That's not what's best for them.
And you got to factor in bullpens. You got to factor in warm-ups. These kids are catching pitching lessons, whether they're getting paid or not. I mean, I made $15 an hour back in 2009 sitting on a bucket. Also at the time too, I was like 23 and down. I'm like, yeah, I could still squat. And I was freaking still squatting, catching pitchers that threw 10 times harder than what my pitchers did. Like,